Flexbox containers inside Elementor is a real deal thing. Some of you are still a little bit cautious over using it, so let's delve in and have a revisit over Flexbox containers and what all the settings mean. Now, when you come over to your page and you hit the plus sign, you're going to see this lovely little layout over here. This is the power of Flexbox and what you can do. Some of these layouts are quite imaginative, and if you like to have an alternate look for your blogs or your posts or even your products or just basically any page, this can really open up potential opportunities for you to be different. But let's start really simple. I'm going to go in and add in a simple basic column container. And that's what the arrow pointing down means. It's like the sections that we used to work with where everything sat below one another. Or you could go for the row one. The direction row is my favorite, especially when you want to have things in line, but it also allows you to wrap underneath as well. What does that all mean? I will explain in a moment. So let's just go in and add in a simple directional column container. There's nothing there. But if I was to go in now and I go and drop in a header and I drop in another header like that, can you see they're directly underneath one another? And this is what you would have been used to with sections. Everything you could do with sections and columns, you can do here as well. You know, you got the margin, you got the padding and all of that. Nothing has changed there. But if I go over to my parent container, and I'm calling it a parent container, because we can add further containers into this that we call child containers. Normally, you would have had section, columns, and inside the columns, you might have added in an inner section. Well, now you have a parent container. You got your child containers, which were the column. And if you go and add in further containers into the child container, you could call them grandchild containers, but they are just containers. So what we called inner sections, they are now containers. Containers does generate or render less DOM than what you would have done with section and columns. Now, if you ever had issues about page speed, inner sections, it was never really a good thing. Containers are so much better. So let's go to our parent container. We go to the layout. Let's just go through the basics, and then I'm going to start showing you the difference between the column and the row approach. This at the moment is set to be a box. If I set this to be full width, you know the drill with section. It is now full width. If I go for box and I change this to be 800, it is now going to be 800 wide. Let's just get rid of that. And the same again with the minimum height. This is the same as what you had before. VH100 means now it's the full height of the screen. 50 would have been 50%, or you could go and set it in pixels or percentage as well. We're going to leave that as it is and not change that. What we do have though here is the direction of the container. This is defaulted to the column approach or the vertical. Everything sits below one another. But let me just change the text over here and now go back to our parent container. Do you see that we have an arrow going in the opposite direction? If I do that, it flips everything the other way around. So if you had 5 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you flipped it, it would now go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just put it back to column. We also have the row. So look at the text. When I do this, the text is now side by side. We've instantly gone to an inline approach. And if I flip it the other way, well, it basically goes all the way to the opposite end of the screen, but it also flips it. Do not worry about the fact it's gone all the way over there, because we can flip it back. Well, not flip it back. We can align it. But for now, let's just pop it back to column. So that's what the row was. I am going to come back to that in a moment. Let's now start working through the justified content. This is instantly gone all the way to the top. So if I was to hit start here, nothing happens. If I go and hit center, again, nothing happens. And the reason it isn't is because we haven't really set a height yet. So let's just pop this back all off. Let's go to our parent container, and now let's set the VH for this to be 100, okay? Now when we go over here, well, it's automatically at the start, like I've just said, but watch what happens when I hit center. It's now gone to the center of your screen. And if I do that, it goes to the bottom. If I do space between, there is a space between. If we go space around, it tries to evenly space it around. Well, that's not space around. Sorry, space evenly is the space evenly. Space around is space around is a weird one because it's like it's not even. It's not, and it's a bit like, well, you know, how do you really want it to look? But anyway, that's how it works. I'm just going to set this to be in the center so we can see it clearly. We also have items over here for aligning. It is automatically left aligned. So I click that, nothing happens. I click center, you can see what it does. I click end, it goes all the way. Or I could do stretch. Now stretch isn't going to really do anything here because everything is in a column approach. So, it doesn't really work very well. Depending on the items you have in here, the stretch might stretch it all the way across. Let's just turn that one off and leave it in the center. We also have an option over here for gap between elements, which is defaulted to be 20. Let's just pop that to 0. You can see what it does. What if I go and change that to be 50? It then spaces out. If you scroll down, you have an option for additional options. Now, this is actually quite good, and I do recommend you do this. Set your overflow to always be hidden. If you've got images or entrance animation or anything like that, any motion or images even, having overflow hidden stops the defer on-screen images prompt that you get on page speed insights. So make sure it is set to hidden. Make sure you can get into the habit of doing that. And at the moment, I could drop in a button in here. But what if I want to make the entire container clickable? So it doesn't matter where you are. When you click on that container, it's going to take you somewhere. You could go over here and I could set this to be an A link. And I could now go right no matter where you go. So if I was to go in and type in loop, it's going to bring up one of the pages on my test website. So you click that, it will take you over there. Or you could even use a dynamic tag. So let's say this was using a post URL or something like that. That's only really useful when you're using a loop grid, but we're going to keep this really basic here at the moment. So what we have is a Flexbox container. This is not going to be rocket science, okay? This is going to be very much what you were used to with section and columns. The only difference is that you can very quickly start to align things. Before you've been messing around with paddings. Well, I just did that really quick. I have not touched anything here. In fact, I'm going to zero all of that out, okay? And that's how quick and easy it is. Now let's start messing around with the row and just see how powerful this is. I'm going to drop in another item, and I've added in some text as well. Right, let's go back to the container. It's still a boxed width. We'll make it 900. There we go. Just so you can basically see it on screen. What we're going to do is change this to now be a row. So when I click this, it does that. Do you remember what I said with when you do that, everything goes in line? But it looks very jumbled up at the moment. Now, it doesn't matter where I click over here on the justify content. It's not going to do anything because we have too many items there. We will make it work for us because what we're going to do is change how the layout looks. We also have the option over here for aligning the items because we are in a big container. So if I do center, it moves to the center, moves to the bottom, or you could do stretch, which only really is great when you've wrapped items, which I'm about to come on to. So in its simplicity, okay, that was the column approach, and let's just put it in the center. That is the row. And you're going to look at it and go, why do you like the row? It is super, super ugly. I hate it. Stay with me on this, okay? We had an option down here for wrap. Watch what it does when I click wrap now. Look at that. Everything just wraps around. But it's automatically decided on how it was going to wrap. So it's gone and said the header has its own row. The text editor has its own row. But the image and button, because they're quite small, we'll put them side by side. So it starts to wrap them. But it doesn't. It's kind of decided on what was the best fit, but we're going to take back control of that. First thing you're going to spot is this says the align items is at the start. So why is everything spaced out? You hit center and it moves down a bit. You do that and it moves down. You can hit stretch and it almost looks similar to what it was before. But why is it creating these huge gaps? Again, because your container is 100 VH. Let me just go back to the parent container layout. Let me remove that. Look at that. But because it's currently 100, it's basically stretching everything out. Again, we are going to modify how this looks and basically improve it with a few little tweaks. And you will get used to this. The first thing I'm going to do is align everything to start on the left. Okay, start at the start, but we still have the space. I'm now going to go to my heading. I'm going to go to the advanced tab and I'm going to go to custom. And you have the option for a custom width. I'm going to click that and I'm actually going to say, make this be about 55%. I mean, I would say that you can either work in percentages or you can work in pixels, whatever you want to go for. I'm just going to go with 500 for now. I'm now going to go to my text editor. And by the way, I'm going to do this the wrong way, and then I'm going to show you what you might want to do, okay? I am now going to go over here and I'm going to set the custom width for this to be 380. It's now sat side by side. Now you're probably wondering, you've just said the width is 900 and we know the first one is 500, so why have you gone for 380? Well, if I set it for 400, remember the parent container has an automatic gap of 20 pixel, so you got to account for that. So 500 plus 380 plus 20 comes to 900. But if I was to zero that out, I can now go over here and now I could increase that to be 400 and it's okay. But watch what happens when I go to 401. It flips. So just bear that in mind, okay? You know, you might go, well, 500 block plus 400, why is it not on the same line? Remember the gap that is kind of automatically being done. If you don't like that, set that to be 0. So by making it match 900, I now have them in line with one another, but I'm not really liking the layout of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my heading and I'm going to increase it by, I just have to increase it by 1, to be honest, because I actually want my text to look like that. In fact, I'm going to make my text be a bit bigger. I'm now going to go for a 500. And I've made my header be 501, which I'm kind of in fact, no, we'll go with 520. So how do I get my button and my image to now sit below? Because the problem you've got here is, because you've set this to be a certain width, and these are certain small widths in there, as an entity, or a widget, or a thing, or an element, they are going to sit in line as well. So how can I force this to go and sit below? Here's what you do. And again, this is quite simple once you get used to it. I'm going to set this to be a width of 100%, like that. 100%. And that is now going to force the image and the button to be below. And at this point, you're going to say, but you've now undone what you've done with shortening the size of that, because you said you didn't want it to be too big. When I click into my text editor, and I'm now going to say, give me about 400, like that. You could change the size to be whatever you want. So I am now saying this is 100% width, but I want it to give me 400 padding on the right. Now, of course, bear in mind that if you start working on like responsive mode or whatever, this is where font clamp can really help you out. But just make sure then that you have accounted for that within your mobile or tablet view if you start to do anything like that. But at the moment, we have a heading. We've got our text. It's 100%. It's wrapping. It's 100% to force the image and the button to now move below. But now I've made it occupy a smaller estate by adding in a little bit of padding. But we still have the problem of the gap. This is the point when you might start panicking and going, well, look, nothing's happening. How do I get this to now look a lot better? What some people do is they go and do this. They go and remove the VH and then they try and start messing around with like, okay, let's go and add in about 300 here and 300 at the bottom, and they're trying to align things, but that's not a great way to do it if you've already set your VH to be a certain length. Let's just undo that. It's actually a really simple solution. Now, when you activate the wrap, this little feature appears called align content. Watch the box here when I do that. It disappears, and now we're back to having the normal row without the wrap. Let's put the wrap back on. You now have aligned content, and you could actually, depending on the size of your monitor and your screen, not realize that is there. So please scroll down. Over here, you have the settings for center, flex, start, flex, end. Look, if I hit center, you can now see what it's doing, okay? I can now go in here and go, okay, give me a bit of gap. Give me about 20 pixels gap between all the elements. If I go to flex start, it goes to the top. If I go to flex end, it goes down. And look, you now get the drill, right? Space around, space evenly, space between, which basically will take the very first item and the end items, which are actually sat side by side at the moment, and it rearranges them. Let's just pop this into the center. Now, at the moment, our image and our button are occupying quite close together. I could, if I want, if I've decided my image is going to be 200 pixels wide, go to the Advanced tab, go to custom, the width, set it to be custom. I could either do it percentage or pixels or REM or whatever you want, and I could now do this. So if I now decide, right, my image is 200 pixels wide, but I want it to occupy in a state of 400, my button now does not start until over here. And if I was to now duplicate this button, it now goes over to the below. Well, it goes underneath, but that's because of the size of the button. So let me undo that. Let me go over to this button, and it's got a custom width of 37%. Let's go and change the width of this to be, roughly however big the button is. Now when I duplicate it, the button will sit side by side. So the row option, I can still have things sat below one another like what I did with the column. All you got to do is just make sure you adjust the custom width, think about the layout, and you can start to mess around with it. I mean, again, whatever you do in the desktop, you got to double check with your mobile. So obviously, this hasn't got any padding in, so it looks really ugly. Go and do that. You can start to have some really funky layouts with Flexbox Container. The best way to learn is to just add in a container and start going through the layouts. Remember though, when you use the row, make use of the wrap feature, and remember you have the align content to get everything to look as it should, because otherwise if you set to default, it's like that, and you're going to go, what? But I want it to be in the center. Play around with it, and the more you do, the more you will get used to it. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. We've got more tutorials and videos on Flexbox. Go do a search for Flexbox Container or even Container. We've got loads of videos. Go and have a look. One page, full page site tutorials. I'll see you soon.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat.